The lock that almost burned down Ridgeview. If I hadn't ripped that lock off the gate with my pickup truck, our entire town might have gone up in flames. That sentence lives in my head rent-free now, especially as I watch a fire truck refilling from the emergency water valve buried just inside my property line. The very one Lisa Brewster, head of our HOA and self-appointed suburban dictator, claimed as her own. The same one she padlocked shut with the words, and I quote, "Your gate clashes with the neighborhood's visual consistency." I wish I were making that up, but I'm not. Lisa's reign of hyper-regulated terror managed to spiral into a full-blown statewide emergency within a single day, all because of a silver padlock, a folding lawn chair, and her unrelenting inability to mind her own business. It was just a regular Monday. Birds chirping, coffee brewing, my dog Scout doing his usual patrol around the fence like he was guarding Fort Knox. I was halfway through replacing a few cracked boards on the chicken coop when I saw her. Lisa Brewster, marching down the gravel road with righteous fury, oversized sunglasses perched on her nose like some anime villain, gripping a clipboard as if it were a ceremonial sword. I didn't think much of it until I saw where she was headed. My gate. She paused, looked around, pulled something shiny from her purse, and before I could even stand up straight to yell, she snapped a padlock onto the gate and spun on her heel like she had just conquered Everest. I jogged toward her, boots thudding against the dirt, trying to stay calm. "Hey, did you just lock my gate?" She didn't flinch. "Yes, I did. According to HOA Ordinance 14B, no unapproved front-facing structures may remain unlocked." "Lisa," I said, already regretting using her name, "that's not a front-facing structure. It's a private access gate on a private easement." She smiled like I just told her gravity wasn't real. "That's what you think, but it's visible from the community trail. It's an eyesore. I've submitted several complaints. Since the HOA has yet to respond, I took the liberty of securing it myself." "You submitted complaints about my gate?" She nodded. 3. All unanswered. So I acted. Now, I could have cut that lock off right then and there. Lord knows I had bolt cutters. Hell, I had an ATV with a winch that could have yanked the whole gate free. But I didn't. Not because I was afraid of her. Lisa has the physical intimidation level of a dusty curtain rod, but because I knew exactly what was behind that gate. 10 feet in, beneath a discreet steel hatch, sat the emergency water valve that powered Ridgeview's backup supply system. The one installed after the 2017 floods destroyed our main line. And guess who helped design it? Yours truly. I looked from the lock to Lisa, who is now typing something in her phone. "I've documented your non-compliance," she chirped. She had no idea she just blocked the only access point the fire department had used 3 summers in a row during fire season. And she didn't stop there. No. Lisa unfolded her lawn chair and sat down on the edge of her property directly across from my gate. For 4 solid hours, she drank kombucha and glared at anyone who even looked in the direction of the gate, including the Amazon delivery guy. I watched from my porch, flabbergasted, as she tried redirecting the delivery man to a back alley that didn't exist. By sunset, the temperature had climbed to 103 degrees, and fire warnings flashed on every local station. I considered calling the fire department to warn them, but I figured she'd get bored and leave. Wrong. That night, lightning struck the ridge for miles east. The dry brush lit up like gasoline-soaked tissue. I saw the orange glow from my upstairs window before I even smelled the smoke. I checked a fire map on my phone. The wind was pushing it west toward us. Within 30 minutes, I heard sirens. Fire trucks roared down the trail, racing toward my gate. I grabbed my boots and sprinted down the drive, hoping they brought bolt cutters. Nope. Lisa was still there, now in a bathrobe, drinking wine. A firefighter jumped out. "We need access to the valve now." Lisa didn't even look up. "This is private property. I can't allow unauthorized access without HOA clearance." Everyone just blinked. "Ma'am," the firefighter said, struggling to stay professional, "that valve is a registered emergency asset. You are obstructing a state response." Lisa waved her hand like she was swatting a fly. "Then bring the paperwork." I didn't wait. I turned, ran to the shed, hooked the chain of the lock, attached the other end to my pickup, and floored it. Crack. The lock snapped like a brittle wishbone. The gate flew open, and the truck rolled in. Lisa shrieked something about litigation, but nobody cared. A firefighter tossed her a warning pamphlet and said, "Have a seat." They got the fire under control within hours thanks to the emergency valve. But one house up in the foothills wasn't so lucky. The next day, I gave a statement to a tense circle of county officials. Lisa? She was nowhere to be found. But her lock? I hung it on my porch with a hand-painted sign. Warning, may cause wildfires. That was just the beginning. Once the town realized who locked the gate and why, it was like watching a slow-motion train wreck. Lisa had built herself a house of cards, and it was collapsing one legal document at a time. The morning after the fire, I walked into Rosie's diner thinking maybe I'd get a nod or two, maybe a handshake from a fireman. Wrong again. The place went silent. Heads turned. Coffee stopped mid-pour. "You the guy with the gate?" someone asked. "Yeah," I said. Didn't know a lock would cause a scandal. Rosie crossed her arms. Wouldn't have if someone hadn't blocked off our emergency water. My brother's house almost burned. Turns out, Lisa had been running her own little dictatorship, filing violations for unauthorized patio furniture, untrimmed hedges, and even wind chimes in excess of 70 dB. But no one pushed back until now. By lunch, I was invited to speak at an emergency town meeting. That night, I showed up to town hall with blueprints, contracts, and diagrams I'd signed since 2017. And there she was, Lisa Brewster. Front row, white pantsuit, smug as ever. Mayor Ellison opened the meeting. "Can someone explain what happened at Gate R17? I did. Gate R17 is not a decorative gate. It's emergency infrastructure, codified, mapped, and registered with the county. Fire routing depends on it." Lisa raised her hand. "I believe that gate was private and subject to HOA design guidelines," she said. "You were wrong," I replied. "The county notified the HOA in 2018. I have the documents. Signed, digitally stamped, acknowledged." And then I pulled out the big one, the FEMA inspection report. The valve had been upgraded in 2021 with federal grant money, officially classifying it as a Homeland Security asset. Blocking it? Felony. Gasps echoed. Lisa's face went sheet white. The mayor slammed his gavel. "We'll be reviewing civil liability and the HOA's role immediately." The room erupted in applause. Lisa stormed out. Next morning, a fine taped to my door. $800 for unauthorized demolition of HOA property. She had declared war. But she forgot one thing. I had friends. And receipts. My buddy Darina, paralegal and local legend, had helped me install his gray water system last year. I called him. We met that afternoon in his office. He scanned the complaint, laughed, and said, "She's quoting HOA bylaws from 1983. This ain't just overreach. This is Olympic-level nonsense." We pulled up the easement from 2017. Emergency access shall not be obstructed or regulated by private entities. Then we checked the FEMA zoning map. My gate. Critical access node. Darren looked up. She didn't just mess up. She implicated the entire HOA. And then the twist. He showed me a flash drive labeled HOA Watchdog. Screenshots. Emails. Group chats. There was Lisa typing. We locked it. He can't prove it's federal. If he does, it'll take months. By then, he'll cave. Another message. Don't worry. Jenkins owes me. He'll approve whatever. We filed the whole mess with the zoning office and regional authority. By evening, I had 3 investigations opened and a voicemail from the fire marshal. "We're referring this to the State Oversight Committee." You did the right thing. Lisa showed up at my door that night. "I'm here to discuss your behavior," she said. "Lisa," I said, "you're under state investigation." She smirked. "Bluff." I showed her a printed copy of her own email. Her smile wobbled. Then she threw a folder at my feet. "Your HOA hearing. Thursday." I opened it. Laughed. "Perfect. That's the day you get served." Next morning, county officials showed up at Lisa's house. She opened the door in a pink bathrobe. The look on her face was pure gold. But it wasn't over. Lisa sent an HOA-wide email. We proposed temporary suspension of easement agreement pending legal clarification. It sounded official enough to confuse people. The word sovereignty was in there, like she was the ruler of a suburban kingdom under siege. I called Darren. Check your inbox. He did. Oh, hell no. County officials flagged it instantly. The state opened another investigation. Then the news van showed up. Channel 5, Channel 9, local radio. Someone, maybe Darren, leaked the emails. Within hours, HOA president blocks emergency access during wildfire. Memes exploded. Lisa's face on a drawbridge. Captions, "Thou shalt not pass without HOA clearance." Lisa tried to spin it live. Wine glass. Flower beds. Carefully curated backyard. I did what I thought best for neighborhood safety. I was unaware of the gate's critical status. Too late. A woman named Denise started a petition. Over 200 signatures in 6 hours. That same night, the state fire marshal declared, blocking Ridgeview's emergency valve was a breach of protocol. Full investigation underway. Lisa was done. I filed a bylaw clause. Emergency vote to remove any board member posing danger to public safety. Vote passed. Lisa was out. The gate? Upgraded. Digital lock. 24/7 fire access. The HOA reimbursed me for damages and publicly apologized. A month later, the county gave me a plaque, Community Safety Guardian. And Lisa? She showed up once. No both. Just watched the fire drill from a distance. Didn't say a word. A week later, I got a letter. "You've been nominated as Community Safety Liaison." I laughed, then accepted. The first HOA meeting was peaceful. We voted for fire-safe landscaping. Reviewed emergency plans. No pettiness, just progress. And people remembered, not just the fire, but the gate, and how one lock nearly doomed us all. Now, every time I walk past that scratch left by Lisa's lock, I smile. Because that little gouge, it tells the whole story.